A modern workforce generates a constant stream of occupational stress claims, creating a significant administrative and financial liability for employers. Missouri law manages this volume by employing a rigid set of rules designed to filter out the majority of subjective complaints before they can result in a payout. This authority is derived from Missouri Statute Section 287.128, which establishes one of the most restrictive mental injury standards in the country. The statute operates as a mechanical filtration system, removing personal perception from the legal equation. To reach compensability, a claim must pass through three distinct gates: the causal chain, the objective baseline, and the good faith exclusion. This machinery is designed to separate legitimate workplace injuries from routine occupational stressors. For adjusters and employers, navigating these three steps is the only way to accurately classify claims and prevent the approval of legally invalid cases. At the first tier of the system, the adjuster evaluates the initial trigger of the incident. A physical-mental claim is defined by a specific sequence. A bodily injury occurs first, which then causes a psychological condition. For example, a worker might suffer a severe physical accident and subsequently develop clinical depression or PTSD as a direct result. This sequence bypasses the strict mental injury rules entirely, moving the claim directly towards compensability. Legally, the resulting mental condition is treated as a sequela, a secondary symptom of the primary physical event. If there is no physical trauma, the claim is classified as pure mental and is diverted towards a much more rigorous set of statutory tests. A pure mental claim alleges that work-related stress caused the psychological condition directly, without any intervening physical injury. These claims face a restrictive legal burden and must proceed to the second filter. The adjuster's responsibility is to document this causal chain accurately from day one to ensure the claim isn't misclassified. Misidentifying the initial trigger leads to evaluating the claim against the wrong statutory standard, which can result in immediate financial loss. The core statutory barrier for any pure mental claim is the extraordinary and unusual standard. Missouri law does not consider an individual worker's subjective feelings of being overwhelmed or their personal stress tolerance. This chart measures objective occupational stress across professions. Stress is compensable only if it exceeds the statutory threshold. For a claims adjuster, heavy caseloads are a standard expectation. Similarly, a nurse's emotionally taxing patient care is a routine duty. Because these stressors are inherent to the roles, they are legally classified as ordinary rather than extraordinary. Routine workplace stressors, including layoffs, interpersonal conflicts, and increased workloads, rarely meet this threshold. There is one specific exception built into this filter for first responders. Firefighters and certain emergency medics are exempt from the extraordinary and unusual standard. These workers are routinely exposed to traumatic events, such as mass casualty incidents and structural fires, as an inherent condition of their employment. The state's legal rationale is that these events exceed the limits of objective human normalization, even for those trained to handle them. Outside of this narrow exception, standard workplace stress cannot pass this filter. Applying this objective test eliminates the vast majority of pure mental claims filed in Missouri. If a pure mental claim survives the objective baseline, it faces the final gate. The disciplinary action shield is a specific statutory protection that immunizes employers from claims arising from lawful personnel actions. This shield covers major actions, such as employee terminations and demotions. It also includes routine management, such as written reprimands and negative performance evaluations. Any mental injury resulting from these specific actions is excluded from workers' compensation coverage. This protection only applies if the employer's action was taken in good faith. Good faith is defined as applying documented policies consistently and proportionately without discriminatory intent. Retaliatory behavior or unlawful discrimination immediately removes the shield. For example, terminating an employee specifically because they reported a physical injury would be considered retaliatory, negating the protection. The law allows employers to manage staff effectively, provided their actions are legitimate and documented. Proving that a personnel action was taken in good faith requires more than just an employer's testimony. The statutory shield is ineffective without contemporaneous physical evidence to support the employer's version of events. Necessary artifacts include signed performance reviews, progressive discipline logs, and dated written warnings. This documentation must be created at the time of the action, long before a mental injury claim is ever filed. An employer with a documented performance history is protected. An employer with an empty personnel file is exposed to claims of retaliation. By accurately identifying the trigger, measuring stress objectively, and verifying disciplinary records, the system identifies non-compensable claims with precision. Understanding these restrictive standards allows agents and employers to treat mental injury claims as a manageable, mechanical process rather than an unpredictable liability.